the reason why social media companies are so successful is because you are getting the information that you believe in, right? So it makes you feel good. It makes you feel that, okay, your thinking is the right thinking. You're
Correct.
thinking on the right path, right? Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel, The Mutual Fund Guys, where we speak only about mutual funds. I'm Samir, and across is Mahesh, and we are partners at AMS Investments, which is a mutual fund distribution company based out of Mumbai. So today, Mahesh, is a continuation of the series, Why is it so difficult of being good? Today, I want to talk about something called confirmation bias. In the previous episode, we spoke about optimism bias, and today we're going to talk about confirmation bias. So let me quickly define what confirmation bias is, right? So confirmation bias is a tendency of people to pay very close attention to information that confirms their existing beliefs and totally ignores the information that contradicts it. So I'll give you an example of a confirmation bias, which I think is prevalent for most Indians. Yeah, at least it was for me. So when I was growing up, Mahesh, my parents told me two things, right? Like you should always only invest in gold
Yeah.
and buy real estate. Okay. Now it's something that, when you're young, you obviously don't question these things to your parents, right? And they also told me, like, look, don't venture into stocks or investments. They are not really going to make any money. Okay.
Yeah. Satta
So
Bazaar. That's
Satta
what.
Bazaar. Satta Bazaar and look, from their point of view, they saw things like Harshad Mehta scam, and they
Yeah.
saw a lot of things. So they had their own biases for whatever reason, right? Now it has been proven time and again that over a long period of time, equities and mutual funds included have delivered more returns than gold and real estate. I mean, it's a proven fact. Over a long period of time. Okay, I'm talking about, like, but if I have this confirmation bias, like this is not true, okay, what might happen is in a short period of time, let's say if gold outperforms the stock markets or real estate outperforms the stock market, then I will raise my hand and say, look, I told you so. And I will then look for that information over and over again to make sure that, okay, I am right. This has happened now, and this will keep happening again. So this
Yeah.
is confirmation bias. Although the data has shown that it is not true, but the short-term data which I'm looking at tries and again reaffirms my opinion that I am right about this thing, right? Confirmation bias in investing per se can lead to very bad outcomes. So when I was in Canada, I studied in Canada for 6 years. I worked there for a few years, and I came back. And when I came back to India, I had a confirmation bias that India will not really grow. And I had this confirmation biases called, okay, the political system in India is not good. There's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of red tape. There are too many religions in India. There are too many languages. It's not cohesive enough. These are all so-called confirmation biases I had. And I'm talking about from 2000 onwards, right? And from 2000 onwards, this is 24 years now. You have seen that every year, India has proven time and again that they have delivered on a lot of aspects about growth, right? Whether it's GDP growth, stock market returns. I had that confirmation bias that, ye nahi hoga, India mein nahi hoga. But time again, I was being proved wrong, right?
Yeah. So
I
you would
was,
only listen to news
yes,
which confirmed what you had
yeah.
already believed in, right?
So any news article that spoke negatively about India's growth story, right? Or spoke negatively about the political system in India or whatever, right? It confirmed my bias. Look, I am there. So it's an interesting play that people have. And you keep looking at that same news article and keep getting the confirmation back. Okay, look, I was right. I'm right. There is hardly the stock markets don't make money. It's too risky. Over the long term, it doesn't make money. These are all the confirmation biases that we have. But how do we at least reduce
The
the
impact.
confirmation bias? The simple answer is through practice. I mean, it's something that I have done over the last couple of years. Every belief system that you have, especially when it comes to investing, you need to really question it. You should also be open to listening to other people's point of views. So I also only suggest one thing, that when people have a strong opinion, always try and question the flip side of it as well. Just take into consideration that what if you're wrong?
Yeah.
What are the repercussions of you being wrong? And what will that entail to your life? That's a
Correct.
very important exercise you must do. And the reason why social media companies are so successful is because you are getting this information that you believe in, right? So it makes you feel good. It makes you feel that okay, your thinking is the right thinking. You're
Correct.
thinking on the right path, right? Because somebody else is confirming that. Okay. And this is the phenomenon that's happened around the world is when you sense you have a confirmation bias, right? You need to just ask yourself, look, this is a battle against yourself. You need to address it because you're not fighting with anybody else. You're just fighting with
Hmm.
your own thesis and your own information. And if you sort of look at both the sides of the coin and you come up with a answer, okay, maybe I was wrong, it's a good thing. There's no ego that should be involved because you're not competing with anybody else. It's with yourself. And if that decision about correcting yourself leads to a better outcome for your life, then it's worth the exercise. Even as simple as things like someone who's a vegan versus someone who eats
Meat.
meat. There is such a big debate because the vegan person will only look at feeds which will reinforce his or her opinion about the benefits of veganism, which I'm
Yeah.
sure there are many, right?
Yeah.
And the person who eats meat will only see feeds which will reaffirm his belief systems. In the same context, a person who believes that gold and real estate are the best avenues of wealth generation, okay, will get feeds only on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And where the fact of the matter is that look, there is data available showing that
Yeah.
that is not the case. Maybe in short periods of time they have outperformed equities, but in very long periods of time they have not.
They
So
haven't. They haven't.
they haven't. So you need to really step back and say, okay, look, what I'm looking at right now might be a data that I need to really question and then probably do my own research and figure out what the true answer is
Yeah.
instead of relying on a feed that is coming to me,
Yeah.
Um,
In fact,
this,
the most dangerous thing, for example, Samir, is that if you are an investor and you have invested for the long run itself, let's say you bought the story that it should be long run, etc., and you bought it, but then you also believe, for example, that the interest rates in the US are not going to fall. For some reason, you have that belief that the inflation cycle has changed and we will never,
correct.
or you believe that this Ukraine war is a big problem for the world. Then every day you will only hear, because your mind blocks every other news item that is out
Hmm.
there. You will only hear all the problems that you already believe in, right? So you will hear Powell gave a speech where the market believes that he's talking about three rate cuts, but you will hear that he's only talking about it. Is not done anything so far. Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you will, because you already believe that it will not
Not
fall, the
happen for
interest rate.
fall.
So you start thinking like
Yeah,
that. Or the Ukraine war, you will get all the news feeds which say that okay, Ukraine destroyed some refinery somewhere, and then Russia did this, and maybe Iran is joining the war, or China is doing something. All kinds of news,
yeah,
and that will finally force you to act and
exactly.
say that okay, let me just get out of equities here. I'm doing it only for some time. I will still be invested in the
Yeah.
long run, etc. Right?
So,
So this is a real issue. There is no way out of
so
it.
let's give I mean, I'll give you, you and I know this. So just for the benefit of viewers, 2 years ago, we had a conversation with a person who did not believe in the India story.
Yeah.
And we obviously, gave him the facts and figures about the India story. And he was convinced that, okay, maybe India will do well. And then 6 months later, something happened in India. Okay, there was some kind of an episode when the stock market fell, and he withdrew
All the
his
money. Yeah.
investments all from the mutual funds, right? Because he then said, okay, I knew this is going to happen. I have never believed in India's story, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And then if you look, and we did the calculations, if that person had remained invested till today, he
Yeah.
would have made a phenomenal return, right?
True.
So that bias that he had, although was momentarily convinced that it was wrong, but he went flipped back to his confirmation
Correct.
bias.
Because he will keep hearing news items, or he'll keep hearing
Correct.
confirmation of his already held beliefs. You're
Beliefs.
right.
And sometimes I wonder why he did that. And of course, people will do it, but this is the classic example I can think of over the last 2 years, which was a classic case of confirmation bias. And that person, even perhaps today, has the same confirmation bias that he had 2 3 years ago. And unless you don't make an effort to really, you know, challenge your own assumptions,
Yeah.
you will not be a very successful investor, in my opinion.
Correct.
You have to really challenge every aspect of what you have read,
Yeah.
felt, and heard from your parents, grandparents, your society, your friends, your teachers, all of it. it has to be challenged, or it has to be at least researched before diving in.
I think that's it. We've covered
That's
what
it.
we have to say. Yeah.
So anyways, thank you for watching. And as usual, we hope you like this video, and we will be coming up with more videos of this kind. In the meantime, if you have any questions, suggestions, please write to us at hello@amsinvestments.net. We also offer free consultation for your existing mutual fund portfolio. If you're looking to start your journey in mutual funds, also please write to us at hello@amsinvestments.net.
And
Signing off.
I would say do subscribe to this channel.
Yes,
And do subscribe to this channel and send this out on WhatsApp to all your contacts, right? And
Yes.
ask them to subscribe.
Yeah.
What else? What else? We would want people to subscribe and listen to what we have to say.
Yes. We hope you liked it, and please do subscribe. And we'll see you guys again very soon. Thank you.